Well, I guess I'd introduce myself. I am Todd. I am an artist, a seasoned creative professional, and consultant. So this is my whole shelf, and I like to do my work in front of all of that because all of this again has a story behind it. Contact me anytime, and I'm just going to provide the best advice I can to get you on your creative path. You know, a lot of people think that to get high on creative, you have to pay outrageous prices, and that's just not true. That's just not what I'm about. So that's what I do. I really hate this stupid light. Make it like... Anyway, can you hear me? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how this light thing's gonna work, but I'm gonna have to start doing something. I guess this thing holds the phone. Goofy little Amazon things, you know? I'm told to get a halo light to hold my phone. Yeah, okay, well, we'll see how this works. A spiritual junkie, I'm a martial artist fanatic and enthusiast, entrepreneur, personal and professional success coach. It's what I do. Everyone has their best self. And I believe in helping people attain that. There's a certain peak, a certain level of excellence that everyone deserves to achieve, and my goal is to inspire that, committing to help other people achieve that level of success. It's something that's really important to me, and I've been dedicated to it for all my life since I was a little kid, and it's something that I've been really excited about exploring and attaining. Oh man, I am so blessed, and I just want to share that with other people. It's super important to me. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to show you a little bit more about me and show you around my studio and some of the stuff that I work on. And there's a funny story behind just about everything I do here. So I'm going to share that with you guys. Seasoned creative professional and consultant. I've been doing, I've been an artist, a creative guy for a long time. I was in high school. I was a creative guy. I used to draw pictures of the Kiss guys. So these guys right here. These guys right here. I would draw them on notebooks for friends of mine for like I don't know, 25 cents, $1 or whatever. Always loved art class. Just something I was raised doing as a kid. Since I was a little kid, my mom would teach me how to paint and draw. I'd ruin all of her oil paints, all of her acrylic paints. They'd dry up to nothing, and my father used to challenge me to draw things like, can you draw a monkey sitting in the wilderness? In fact, I still have that in one of my old sketchbooks, one of my original drawings that when I was a little kid. And then going all through school, just into art my whole life. And then it was in high school that I eventually started becoming a little bit more, I guess, more professionally versed into it because, the teachers recognize talent and you explore it and you do more, you enter contests. I remember doing logos for teachers. Teachers would want help with certain things, or I would help other students do things. I remember learning the airbrush. I was like one of the new guys learning the airbrush, and I was always a yes guy. I can do that. Sure, I can do that. And learning the airbrush and airbrushing people's t-shirts and notebooks and jeans and you name it. And then after that, after high school, went into college briefly, like a local community college, to get some credits under my belt with art history and stuff. And then when I met my girlfriend, now my wife, and got into architecture, went to Thames Valley State Technical College in Norwich, Connecticut, and took their architectural degree program.
worked for an architect for a couple of years. I loved that experience. That was such a cool experience. In fact, a funny story. I was taught on boards, doing blueprint drawing on boards, drafting and design and stuff on boards. And he told me, if I learn CAD, if I give you the manual for CAD and come back and take a test, he'll give me the job. And that's what I did. I studied the guidebook for AutoCAD. It came back, got the job. I forgot what I was making then. I think it was $15 an hour or something. It was really good. But then back in the late 80s, early 90s, the building boom went down, and I got laid off with a couple of other people and ended up getting a job in publishing. I was looking for jobs in publishing to be an artist. And then I was a graphic designer at a small publishing company in Norwalk, Connecticut, which was an awesome experience. Got to design motorcycle magazines and layouts, and that's where I was introduced to Apple computers, and man, it was just so cool, so much fun. I was probably about 3 or 4 years, made a lot of great friends, had a lot of great memories. I gained a lot of skill. In fact, some of my first design awards, Ozzy Awards, I won for designing motorcycle publications and stuff. That was awesome. Buzz Cantor at TAM Communications. I guess I'm pretty darn grateful for what he and his wife Gail gave to me. The opportunity to do a lot of cool stuff with creativity. And then from there, my girlfriend then, now my wife, moved on to Massachusetts, and I wanted to find a job in commercial publishing. Commercial trade. I can't remember the difference now. No, commercial publication was the motorcycle, and trade publication went to Connor's Publishing Company in Newton, Massachusetts, and got a job as an associate art director there, and moved my way up to art director, bounced around to a few positions there. I was there about 6 or 7 years, and I kind of hit my cap. Went on to become creative director at IDC, International Data Corporation, and Natick. Spent about a year there, and then they decentralized, part of a mass layoff. I was always a freelance graphic designer, had a lot of clients over the years, and I decided, at the time now I was married to my wife, and we decided that I was going to start my own business around 2001, 2002. And that was it. I started that, and with doing freelance graphic design projects, and then built relationships over the years with printers and marketers and vendors all over the country and clients all over the country, doing all kinds of cool stuff. So I work on everything, branding and identity. I consult with clients regularly. In fact, recently I met with a company. They actually installed our a new chimney top, and they were struggling. Their identity, they had a chimney sweep logo, and they do a lot more than chimney sweeping, and asked me what I did. I told them, so I'm going to consult with them and help get them to be more brand centric with what they do. So I coach and counsel people as far as marketing plans and social media plans, and I do infographics and brochures and websites, and again, printing. I work with publishing companies where I'll get, let's say you need 50,000 magazines printed every month. I do the graphic design, layout design for magazines, and I'll get them printed for you. I'm more or less like a virtual creative agency. I say virtual because I'm here in my home studio, home office. I travel now and then, not as much this year with the whole COVID thing, but I do quite a bit of traveling to meet with people. Now I do it virtually. I'll call you, or you'll call me, or we'll video chat and we'll talk. And so I do a lot of consulting work, and that's it. So I guess I'll probably at some point show you some more of the stuff in my office. I've got like funny stories about everything around me here. There's a funny story about everything in my office. I always wanted to have an office with just all the stuff that meant something to me over the years. So I can't wait to go over some of that stuff. But I just want to introduce myself. Again, I am Todd Mitchell at Mitchell Creative Group, and I am super psyched to introduce myself and show you a little bit more about what I do, and hopefully I can inspire and help you achieve your personal best, your professional best, all that stuff above. I'm really excited, so thank you. I'd like to show you a little bit more about what I do here in my studio. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. I call it my studio? I guess I can call it my studio. You know, a little bit about what I do and where I do it. You know, I think starting here with the infamous iMac. This is my primary desk. I'll talk about this later. This little rock has a story to it. This little gold rock. I'm going to share that story later on. But this is my studio. This is where I do all of my creative work. It's pretty much a normal desk, an iMac. I'll probably be soon getting an iMac Pro. It's a 27-inch iMac. What I did was I bought a standing desk. This one here is a steady standing desk. And the reason I have this is that sometimes, you know, when I feel up to it, I raise this up and actually set this up like this, and I can actually stand here and do some of my work standing up. That way you're not always sitting down and, you know, kind of moving around and stuff. You know, keeps you kind of active. Most of the time I sit though, but standing desk can be kind of handy. They actually make electric desks. I have friends of mine that have electric desks that you actually trigger a switch and the whole desk moves up and down, which is kind of cool. But I tend to sit most of the time doing the work here at my desk. I mean, I have, if you want to zoom into these tools down here, this is the dock that I have to show some of my major tools that I use. But I have, you know, all of the Adobe suite. I use, those are like I call them my weapons of choice, if you will. You know, Photoshop and InDesign and After Effects and Premiere and Character Animator and Audition. I'm going to go through these all another time. I use the Microsoft products for email. Microsoft products like PowerPoint, Word, things like that. But this is pretty much where I do it all. This is actually considered a busy screen for me. I usually don't have anything on my screen. I pretty much organize everything pretty tightly. So I have, if you come on over here, come a little closer, I'm going to kind of see the screen in here, but we have current projects, live folders. I have clients in this folder here. I use my notes program pretty tightly to integrate what's going on in the cloud. So current projects going on, I have out for review, various clients to invoice, things like that. So I leverage the cloud and notes to do that. So I can go downstairs and I can do my laptop, I could go on my phone, and it's all tightly integrated. So that's pretty much where this is pretty much where I do most of my work, up here in this little room, this little studio. We have a big screen up here. Sometimes I stream up to this big TV up here, a big monitor. So if I'm doing a conference call or sometimes I put that on. I'm actually getting an Atari VCS system so that I'll be able to play some old school video games. It's gonna be kind of fun, so I can kind of sit here and do that. I have a recliner right here for people, for guests that do come in here, you know, little bit of a recliner. I have my guitar, which I sometimes play, but yeah, actually I do kind of play it quite a bit. Apple TV right over here. I use the Apple TV. That's what streams the iMac over to this. I can actually stream downstairs. I'm going to show you the rest of my office stuff downstairs that I stream down to. This is just a storage closet. Keep some of my stuff in here. Most of it's family games, but I keep my camera equipment and my tripod and all my extra camera equipment in there. This allows me a nice big view of the front yard, which I'm actually regrowing seed right now because it burned out in the 90-degree weather. But it's kind of nice, you know, to have the view from above, which is kind of nice. So I think that's about it. I have, you know, office chair. I use my boom mic here for podcasts, kind of set this up so it's pretty convenient. It's right in front of me for podcasting and sometimes phone calls. Bluetooth headphones, I use those for Zoom conferences. Those are pretty handy because I can kind of walk around the house and stuff if I need to. Oh, what else? That's pretty much it. I think later on I'm going to go through some more of the stuff in my office, because if you look up here, there's a reason for all of this up here. I have all of this stuff up here and it all has a story to it. So let's go over here. I'll start talking about this stuff here. Starting with the photos on the wall. I have like pictures of you kids, because you kids mean the world to me. And some family photos. And then we have the credentials of ministry. I became ordained, I guess it's about a year. Yeah, actually 2018, November 2018. It's coming up on 2 years. I became an ordained minister in the Universal Life Church, which is non-denominational. Pictures of me as a kid doing judo, which I loved doing judo when I was a kid. So I have a whole history about that. High school diploma, my college diploma for architecture, aviation challenge. That's when I got to fly a fighter plane, which was very, very cool experience. A poster here of Amistad. I was an extra in the Steven Spielberg movie, which was fabulous. That's yet another story. Over here we have Ozzy Award that I won. First job I had was, first good job in design was as an art director. And I designed an Indian Motorcycle Illustrated magazine that won an Ozzy Award. It's a print award. It meant a lot to me. I think that was my first award ever. So, starting at the top, of course, we have my mother, who sadly passed away a few months ago. My father, and that's mom with me as a kid. A couple of bells. These bells were from my parents. These are my father's and mother's birthday bells. My mother's Zen rock. She collected these at the beach. Picture of Lydia and I when we went parasailing. I have other pictures here. Sophia, look at this Kiss picture. She's quite an artist. Lunchbox for my brother-in-law. Kiss was one of my favorite bands growing up. Little pump rocket, water rocket that I used to use when I was a kid. And a lot of these are toys, like little toys that I played with when I was a kid. Artwork from my Nana, who actually I have more of her. I'll come back to that. One of my favorite movie, Dances with Wolves. I used to love comic books. Comic book artists always inspired me, so that's why I put that up there. Skydiving picture, that was awesome. I have products, of a whole lot of products of things that I've worked on over the years, different businesses that I've participated in. And I have a story about these, but I'll do that at a different time. Because then I can talk about each of these, because each of these businesses have a story to them. Kung Fu stuff, I took Kung Fu, that was one of my belts I had there. I worked with this magazine company once, that's me modeling on a motorcycle, that was very cool. Chinese symbol for love, Donna got that for me. This is a drawing I did for my Nana. Scuba diving certificate. A lot of this stuff is spiritual stuff. Like this is my first communion I have, and then I have a lot of spiritual stuff. I'll get into that later too. But a lot of Zen stones and different things. You'll see like little Buddha statues and things because I love Zen and Buddhism and the martial arts and stuff. There's stories to all of this kind of stuff here. I have a collection of stuff in this jar. Of course, Master Yang and the Wachi teachings. I'll share that story with you. Fascinating story. There's a story behind this Zen book too. So I have lots of stories to tell there. I have my friend Yang. I call him Lasha. This is his book. I've been reading. Tao Te Ching. I have a lot of books like the Tao Te Ching and the Bible and Walt Disney's books. Stories behind all of these books too. So I'm going to tell that another time. What else do I have over here? Yeah, over here. Let me move my chair. Over here we have a picture. This is something my Nana made me out of driftwood. That was kind of cool. She handmade that. I'll tell a story of that. Race car driving, I did that once. Story behind that. This is an interesting story. I don't know if I told you this story, but I got knighted. I was in Iceland and I got knighted by a group of Vikings. It's a very funny story. And then I have a Bobby Orr story here. This is actually a funny story. I'll share that another time too. But I got to meet Bobby Orr, hockey player, and that was a very funny story. So I think that's it. I think that's a good basic of my basic office. I call this Studio One when I talk to people. I say, yeah, I'm talking to you from Studio One. This would be Studio One. So we'll start here, and I'll share some more later.